And now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting Pioneers. At libero, redshirt junior from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, number 2, Lily Marchand. At libero, a junior from Robinson Township, Pennsylvania, number 9, Mia Arndt. A graduate student from Earlville, Illinois, number 3, Alex Kuntz. A freshman from Concord, Ohio, number 5, Adri Budries Renee. A junior from Guaynobo, Puerto Rico, number 6, Mariana Oyola Rivera. A redshirt sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio, number 7, Savannah Kitchen. A junior from Washington, Pennsylvania, number 11, Nicole Griesbeck. And a sophomore from Isabela, Puerto Rico, number 13, Patricia Calero Arizari. Point Park is coached by Bridget Bielek. The assistant coaches are Destiny Tucker and Ashley Bulikowski. And now, let's meet your Tartans. Calabero, a junior from Tiburon, California, number 8, Zoe Gabro. A sophomore hailing from Minneapolis, Minnesota, at libero, number 11, Izzy Safford. A senior from Davie, Florida, wearing number 4, Catherine Jackson. A senior from Centerville, Ohio, number 5, Elizabeth Schlemmer. A senior hailing from McLean, Virginia, number 6, Juliana McFarland. A junior from the City of Angels, number 8, Neha Tumala. A senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, wearing number 10, Kai Herkenhofer. And a junior from Costa Madera, California, number 18, Kay Chow. The Tartans are coached by Ann Bach. The assistant coach is Aaron Street. Officials for today's game are Joseph Harrison, Michael Bruno, Kyle Panzos, and Joseph Woodard.
Good evening and welcome here to the Highmark Center as we get set for a women's volleyball matchup here this evening at the university, or on the campus of Carnegie Mellon University, as the Tartans take on the Point Park Pioneers in a little bit of a crosstown rivalry. The two teams sharing just a few miles, both based here in Pittsburgh, as the Pioneers looking to snap a 6-match skid and get back into the win column, while the Tartans trying to keep up the winning ways and carry some of that momentum further into the season. Hello again and welcome here to the CMU Sports Network. Jack Ridenauer here with you. Now, for you at home, to make you aware, this game is going to be counted as an exhibition match for Carnegie Mellon. For Point Park, it will count towards the record. All the stats will count for the players. For CMU, it has elected to use this as an exhibition match. So win or lose, no impact on the Tartans' record per se, but still want to get a victory nonetheless, even if it won't necessarily count in the grand scheme of things. Tartans sitting at 19-6 overall. Winners of 2 in a row. Last fell to national powerhouse Wash U on October 12th. Point Park at 3-15 on the season, 2-5 in the Mountain East Conference. And currently on a season-long 6-match losing streak, recently losing to Glenville State in 4 sets. The hitting has been a bit of a bugaboo for the Pioneers recently, hitting below 100 as a team in 4 of the last 6 matches. So the hitting will need to be very impactful, especially going up against a really strong CMU team. One of the top blocking teams in the UAA. As Neha Tumala gets us underway here from the Highmark Center. Jown cranks it home, and the Tartans draw first blood. Jown has been playing really well this season, a transfer from Wellesley College. All-region honorable mention last year at Wellesley. Budries Rennie has to arc it over. There comes Schlemmer, slices through. And a good sign for the Tartans having Schlemmer back in the lineup. Missed a lot of time to begin the season, came back on September 18th, and has been a regular in the lineup since. Budris-Rini again just has to play it over. Tumala tapped over by Kitchens. The misfire, Point Park on the board. Pioneers started the season a bit slow, went 0-5 before getting a straight set win on September 12th against Roberts Wesleyan. Here's Avery Budris-Rini. He's been having a phenomenal freshman season. Dumped over by Tumala. Crafty. And the setter dump works to perfection for the all-UAA pick from a year ago. Just great patience, baiting in the defense. Kate Jown heads to the line. Respect. Check that. Alex Kuntz can't keep it in play, and the lead grows for CMU. Looking to hand Point Park a 7th consecutive loss. Jown last year at Wellesley College, 32 aces. Go back to the 2023 season, she was the NUMAC Rookie of the Year. Budris-Rini. Herkenrother coming off a career-high 15 kills recently. In comes Respec, and she gets the point. Tools the block. And Respec, who's had 10 or more kills in 2 of the last 3 matches, picks one up there. Lily Marchand at the line. Had 9 aces over the last 3 matches. Dumped down by Respec again. Back-to-back points for the freshman. Check that junior. Respec, a transfer from Wheeling, played last year there with just 9 matches played, has really seen an increased role at her new team. Schlemmer jammed up front, trying to wrap up this first set. Again, this match considered an exhibition match for CMU, so will not count against the record. For Point Park, though, contrary, will count against their record should they win or lose. Kuntz blocked. Good timing by McFarland and Schlemmer. Kuntz again. Jackson. Kuntz tips. Respec with a smack. Point CMU. Tumala just picking out the soft spot. And the crafty setter drops in another point. Gavros again at the line. Calero Irizarry. She misfires, so drops in for CMU on the air hitting wise. CMU quickly doubles up here on Point Park. Again, the Pioneers had a chance to take a lead, but a 4-0 run has ensued. Respec. Schlemmer clubs it through and tools the block. A 5-0 run for the home team. And the Tartans trying to deprive the Pioneers of that first win here in the month of October. And the first time out of the match as well. We'll take it as well. 9-4, CMU in front right here on the CMU Sports Network. Back and forth through the first 4 points. Tied at 4, and then CMU wakes up and currently on a 5-0 run. Looking to take this first set. We're here with you. Again, Point Park will have this game count against its record, while CMU will be using this as an exhibition match. So there will be no ramifications in a win or loss for the Tartans. Overpass for the Tartans, and McFarland buries it. Just like Elizabeth Schlemmer, McFarland had missed some time early in the year. Comes back when CMU plays MIT. Quite the way to come back after injury. 12 blocks in that return against the Engineers. 6-point lead for CMU. Kuntz. McFarland smokes it through. An all-UAA second-team pick last year, along with an all-region selection. And when McFarland gets going, the CMU team can really fire on all cylinders. Kuntz blocked. McFarland and Schlemmer combining. Point Park, as Jown takes too much steam. Puts an end to the 7-0 run for CMU, and it sends Nicole Riesbeck back to the service line. Riesbeck, an all-state performer in high school. Gavro shoves it over. Dumped over by Oyola, and it works. Oyola last year played at West Virginia Tech. She was a third-team all-conference performer there. She can be very crafty there at that center position. Back-to-back points for the Pioneers. Trying to erase a 6-game skid. Schlemmer. Jackson. So much speed. And Jackson continues the breakout senior season she's been having. 234 kills last year as a junior, but she is well on the way to potentially surpassing that. Again, none of the stats will count tonight, but Jackson, going into the next match, will be too shy of 200 kills. Melissa Jin at the service line. Tartan's trying to put this first set to bed and go up 1-0. Kuntz with the point. Kuntz also a transfer. Played the last year at Montevallo in Alabama, but then the first 3 seasons she played at Minot State. Back here at the service line. Jackson, and it works. Sits in second on the team in kills. She has continued to be a huge catalyst for this Tartans team, especially when McFarland and Schlemmer were down early in the season. Jackson stepped in nicely, and she has yet to surrender that role. Budreese Rinney. McFarland cracks it through. Sliver of space, and the Tartans extend the lead further. CMU up by 7. Trying to hit the accelerators here in this first set. Budreese Rinney, what a dig by Jown. Woodard. Point Pioneers, and CMU quickly looks over for the challenge card, but head coach Anbach decides not to use it. Tasia Montgomery heads back to serve. Season high 3 aces on 2 separate occasions this year. Jown. Money. Jown with 10 or more kills 15 different times this season. And for a CMU team that, again, really did not add a whole lot from the offseason, reloaded a lot of pieces. You bring back a player like Jown, or at least insert a player like her. You can see the wonders that she brings as an offensive threat. Woodard splits the difference. An 8-point advantage for CMU. Biggest lead it's had in this first set. Trying to land the first punch in this match and go up 1-0. Budreese Rinney jams it through. Great effort on the outside by the freshman. Oyola back at the service line. Puts in a beautiful serve. Woodard cleans it up. Pioneers trying to take this 1 point at a time. In comes Respec with a ripper. Problem is, though, for the Pioneers is this gap too big. 6 point deficit. CMU continues to close in on that magic number of 25. Patrice Rennie. Joust. Point Park picks up the point. Back row attack and a 5 point separation. Again, Point Park earlier in this set had a chance to take a lead when it was 4-4. A 7-0 run ensued for CMU, and now the Pioneers trying to pick up the pieces. And they do from the service line. Oyola picks up an ace. Continues to add to her team lead, now 28 on the season. A transfer from West Virginia Tech. Jown rolls. Kuntz. A fortuitous bounce. Jown gets the point. Kuntz gets the dig, but that pesky basketball rim fruitful for the home team, not so much for the road team. Tumala back at the service line. CMU, the number 1 serving team in the 8-team UAA. And Tumala shows off why. A timeout for Point Park. As it's seen enough, 18-12, CMU trying to wrap up this first set. We'll keep it right here in the timeout. Again, for CMU, the number 1 serving team in the 8-team UAA. While for Point Park, towards the bottom of the 11-team MEC, 98 aces coming into today for the Pioneers. The CMU team, again, despite this match tonight, not counting towards the overall record. CMU 1 win shy from yet again another 20-win season. Would be the 4th consecutive 20-plus win season for the Tartans. Not to mention trying to make it to a 4th consecutive NCAA tournament bid. Right now, the way the Tartans have played throughout this season, very much so making a case for that. Picked up a couple nationally ranked wins, most recently against a really strong Marietta team. That was a number 18 ranked team in the nation that CMU recently toppled. Tartans, though, have their hands full. Point Park has trailed by as many as 8 in this first set, but down by 6, and have flirted with potentially tying or even taking leads at times. And for the Pioneers, a match that will count towards the overall record, stats and all, trying to snap this 6-match losing streak, which is a season long for the road team. Kitchen, poked back by Herkenrother. In comes Jown. Patrice Rennie, poked over by Herkenrother. Continues to pogo stick for those rejections. Schlemmer with a rocket. Respec. No. Point CMU. Tartans 6 points away from a 1-0 lead. Trying to keep the Pioneers out of the win column here tonight. Kitchen blocked. Herkenrother with the turn away. Herkenrother leaping for the rejection. 8-point lead for the Tartans. Shrinks back down to 7. And a rare miscue serving-wise as Tumala ranks third in the UAA in aces, 5 behind her teammate Kate Jown, who sits in a tie for first. Trickles through for Budrees Rinnie. So another beneficial bounce for the road team. Second ace of the match for the Pioneers, who rank towards the bottom in their respective conference in that category. Kuntz. Here comes Schlemmer. Kuntz again. Herkenrother puts it away. CMU 4 points away from putting some pressure on Point Park. Looking to go up 1-0. And just who you want back at the service line, the conference leader in aces in Jown. Alex Kuntz getting looked at by her head coach, Bridget Bielik. Kuntz seems to be all right. Mentioned about how she transferred in to Point Park from Montevallo in Alabama. Last year, finished third on the team in kills with almost 200. That number a career high for her in her now 5th year of college volleyball. Well, doesn't seem to be too big of a concern as she's smiling and laughing it off. Teammates also doing the same. She might get razzed for it on the bench, maybe on the bus. But either way, back to action, and Jown leaves it just a little short. Tartans have a good hold on this first set, but now a matter of putting it to bed. Here's Lily Marchand. Her role has skyrocketed from last year, where she did not play a single match for the Pioneers. Herkenrother floats through. Tremendous job. As she spends so much time in flight, any sort of pass that comes her way, she can still redirect with that hang time. And the Tartans now 3 points away from going up 1-0. Kuntz seems to be all right now. Gets right back into the mix. Has had 10 or more kills 7 different times this year. She's third on the team this season in kills with 149. Respect with a good serve. Jackson with a jolt of energy. Mentioned how Jackson had a career year last year, but let's face it, she is very well putting on a case for an all-conference type of season. Melissa Jin at the line. Tartans with a chance to set up set point in set number 1. Kuntz misfires, and the Tartans can take this first set. Jin again. Runs into the net. Has 17 service errors on the season as opposed to 21 aces. Point Park does live to see another point, but running out of time to salvage this first set, in jeopardy of suffering a 7th straight loss. McFarland drags it through. Kuntz shoves it back, and McFarland crushes it through. And the first set goes to the home team. 25-17, CMU takes set number 1 and go up 1-0 in the best of 5. Stick with us. We've got set 2 coming up next to see if Point Park can tie things up or if CMU takes a commanding lead right here on the CMU Sports Network. Set 1 in the books, and it goes to the Tartans, 25-17. Again, Point Park early in that first set had a chance to take a lead at the 4-4 juncture. A 7-0 run ensues for CMU and really never looked back after that. Point Park trying to avoid slipping to 3-16 overall. The Tartans trying to get a nice feel-good victory. Again, this game not counting against CMU's record one way or the other. Considered an exhibition match for them. So as a result, a win has no impact and a loss, no impact. Jack Ridenauer here with you on the CMU Sports Network. We want to also give a thanks, at least Carnegie Mellon Athletics would like to thank its corporate partners. Number 1 Cochran, BSN Sports, DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel and Suites Pittsburgh downtown, Go Local, Moe's Southwest Grill, Panera Bread, Penn Station, and Pizza Parma. Tartans hit 382 after that first set, while Point Park flirting with under 100 at a .083. And again, the Pioneers have struggled hitting as a team over the last 6 matches, hitting below 100 in 4 of them. And not to mention, teams have been hitting a red-hot hitting percentage. In the last 2 matches, teams have hit 200 or better in each of those 2 consecutive games. So for CMU, definitely living up to that trend at a 382 hit percentage. Here's Oyola. Point Park trying to wipe away a 6-match losing streak. A point for Point Park on the double. So the ball handling error hurts CMU early. This Point Park team in the Mountain East Conference. Been in the MEC for a couple years now. As Jackson jams it through the window. Good attempt by Kitchen along with Respec. Just couldn't close the wall. Jackson has been a standout going back to 2022 for CMU. She was an all-tournament pick at the Juniata tournaments that season. Right on cue, an ace. And CMU once again captures an advantage. Mention how the Tartans flirting with another 20-win season. Point back to the Pioneers. Point Park last year went 7-20 overall. Now the 3rd year that Point Park has been in NCAA Division II after being an NAIA school. Oyola somehow plays it off the net. McFarland off a slide. Good turn away by Kuntz and Kitchen. Down. CMU back in front. Chow, not only a tremendous player, but a winner as well, a state champion in high school. And she has been a part of some big-time wins this season with CMU. Here's Logan Devereaux. Freshman from California. Respec's rejected. Big time turn away by CMU up front, and the Tartans double up on the Pioneers. Devereaux last year ranked the number 22 best player in the state of California. Here comes Kuntz with a forceful swing, and it works. Once again, Point Park with a chance to tie things up here. Izzy Saffer checks in for CMU. Marchand at the service line. Back in 2023, 23 aces that year. And did not play a season ago. Sophie Pan, oh my, obliterates it. She's hit 200 or better in 5 consecutive matches. The accuracy at times has gone up and down for Pan, but more times than not, she has been on a roll. Here's Tumala, one of the top servers in the entire UAA. Respec. Down with a scorcher. Chown in the most recent matchup against Marietta picked up 10 kills. Despite CMU getting out-hit by Marietta in that match, still prevailed in 5. Kuntz somehow slips it through. Very casual swing. Normally you don't get points on those casual attempts, but Kuntz takes full advantage. Once again, Respec with a chance to pull her Pioneers within 1. Can't do so. This Pioneers team coming into tonight with 140 service errors as a group. Chown back at the line. Respec. CMU again grows the lead a little bit further. Despite Point Park not really being a team that conjures up many aces, don't really allow many aces. 5th fewest aces allowed in the 11-team MEC. Calero Irizarry puts it away. First time Calero Irizarry has really been active tonight. She's been swinging a big shoulder lately, too. 17 kills over the last 3 matches. And now a conversation here with Kate Jackson. And it looks like Tumala might have some jewelry that she might not be able to wear. Wanted to make sure all players are safe. Either way, Alex Kuntz at the line on her 3rd stop in her 5th year of college volleyball. Sure, she would be awfully interested in our broadcast tonight. She's studying broadcasting, focusing in sports media and documentary at Point Park. Tremendous broadcasting program Point Park has. As Woodard dumps it home. And when Woodard gets going, too, that's another layer to this CMU team. Similar to Katherine Jackson, Woodard last year, career high 186 kills. Hasn't been set too much the last 2 matches, but puts that one away. Here's Safford. McFarland. Budreese Rennie. A good roll. Free ball for the Pioneers. Budreese Rennie. What a dig by Tumala, but the 3rd touch unsuccessful. And the Pioneers take advantage, down by 3. Puts Montgomery back at the service line. 11 aces on the season for Montgomery. One of 6 players to have 10 or more for the Pioneers. McFarland right down Broadway. Traveling at the speed of light. Reason why she's hit 300 or better in 3 of the last 4 matches. McFarland has had to deal with injuries throughout her career. Overcame a torn ACL heading into her senior year of high school. Culminated, though, last year in an all-conference and all-region type of season for McFarland. Budreese Rennie clubs it through. McFarland again served on a silver platter. Continues to just eat up these passes. And a 5-point Tartan lead, trying to go up 2-0. Again, Point Park right now in jeopardy of suffering a 7th loss in the month of October. Service error, point to Point Park. Oddly enough, this Pioneers team has been better when traveling. All three wins this year have been either on the road or at neutral site. 0-5 when playing at home. Free ball. Respec. McFarland. 5-point lead for CMU. .256 kills in 2024 for McFarland. Rose that number up from just 24 in 2023. Kitchen blocked, but a tooled block. McFarland has been tremendous in rejections this year, but Kitchen picks up a point. Kitchen, I'm sure, pleased to see that swing drop in. She's hitting the negatives in 2 of the last 4 matches. Schlemmer, right place, right time. Kitchen. Here comes Jown. Kuntz cleans it up. Tartan's trying to keep this breathing room. Respec, rejected. Juliana McFarland putting up a block party here in downtown Pittsburgh. 5-point lead for CMU. Mention how McFarland, after missing some time early this season, made her debut against a top 10 team in MIT. Quite the way to come back into the lineup. Had 12 blocks that evening. Another rejection. This time it's Jown and Pan forming a wall. This CMU team can really get going, especially if the defense is humming at the net. Here's Logan Devereaux. Kuntz, the good charge. Here comes Jown. Kuntz, clever, and it works. Kuntz comes from an athletic family. Parents played college sports at North Central University. Mentioned how she spent her first 3 seasons at Minot State. I believe that is in North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. Ace for the Pioneers. Lily Marchand picks it up. Give her 16 on the season. Pioneers down by 5. But have been unable to get over this 3 to 5 point limbo that they've lived in. Schlemmer forces it through. 2-time All-UAA performer in her career. And a great sign for CMU towards the back half of this year that, again, she will be healthy. And this match for CMU will not count against the record. It's an exhibition match, technically. For Point Park, it will count, so the stakes a little higher for the Pioneers. Trying to get that first win in the month of October. Pan punches it through. She had a really strong start to the season. Some players came back into the lineup, but she has still found a role in the roster. And a timeout for Point Park. We'll keep it here with a 16-9 lead for the Tartans. CMU now has somehow increased the hit percentage. We're hitting .382, now hitting a blazing .423. Point Park, conversely, .093. Both deadlocked in 3 service aces, but CMU has committed 3 more service errors than Point Park. Either way, Tartans up by 7, trying to go up 2 sets to none. Number 1 Cochran Automotive is proud to be the official auto group of Carnegie Mellon Athletics. Shop 19 new car brands and thousands of pre-owned vehicles at Cochran.com/CMU. Penn Station is a proud partner of Carnegie Mellon Athletics. Enjoy any of their delicious made-to-order subs. All it takes is 1 bite, and you'll understand why. At Penn Station, it's all about good taste. Make sure you stop by the Shady Side location at 4815 Center Avenue. Want to give a shout out to our crew today. Hannah Knoll, our producer and director. Jared Barton, our camera operator. Jack Ridenauer here with you on the CMU Sports Network. Thanks for spending your Tuesday with us. I know it's opening night in the NBA, but we've got college volleyball here this evening. Free ball chance for the Tartans. Jown. Point Park getting into desperation mode. Running out of chances to avoid a 7th consecutive loss. Kuntz rocks back and picks up a point. Safford gets eaten up by the swing. Pioneers have, again, done a good job of hanging around in this one, but they have been unable to really crack through on what has been at times a 7 or 8 point lead for CMU. Pan rocks back, and Respect saves it. Point for CMU. Good effort by Point Park. Mention how this Tartans team on pretty big run of consecutive 20-plus win seasons, trying to go for 20-plus win season number 4 in a row. Here's Catherine Marshall. In comes Kuntz, blocked. Woodard and Pan. Pan at 6 foot, Woodard at 6'2". That is a lot of length to try and get through. And ultimately, CMU takes full advantage. Oyola. Jackson. Kuntz. Kuntz continues to be a bright spot offensively for Point Park. Seven kills tonight for Kuntz to lead the Pioneers. It's been set to 22 times already. Pan, but misfires. So Pan, with her first hitting error, had been perfect up to that point. But again, it's a 6-point difference for Point Park, trying to really shrink down on this deficit. Woodard. Good hustle by Marshall, but unable to clean it up fully. Point Park continues to stick around in this. Division II team from the Mountain East Conference. Trying to pick up a big win here tonight and go to 4-15 on the season. Budrees Rinnie cleaned up by Tumala. Woodard. Jackson. Straight down. And CMU creeps closer to taking this second set. Trying to keep Point Park out of the win column this evening. Here's Safford. 12 aces on the year for Safford. Kuntz. Overpass. Another crack at it for Point Park. Calero Irizarry gets turned away. Marshall rocks back, and it works. So Marshall, what looked to be a casual swing, winds up turning into a point, and it turns into a Pioneer timeout. 2013, CMU leads. Take a brief break. Stick with us to see the finale of this second set. See if CMU goes up 2-0 here at the Highmark Center. 20-13, CMU leads over Point Park, 5 points away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead. Jack Ridenauer here with you on the CMU Sports Network. Izzy Safrick gets us back to action. And Oyola somehow cleans up what looked like a mess. McFarland with a bullet. Pinballs around. CMU benefits. Tartan's team sits in second place in Region 7, right behind national powerhouse Hope. And this match will not count against CMU either way, so the Tartans just, at this point, trying to take advantage of an exhibition game against a live opponent. Right now, Point Park, who is counting this match against its record, picks up another opportunity on trying to dwindle down the deficit. Montgomery back at the line. Seen a major increase in her time this year. Just 2 matches played last year. Jackson. McFarland does a great job acting as the decoy there on the slide. Jackson with another scintillating swing. Now 3 points away are the Tartans from taking set number 2 and going up 2-0. Took the first set 25-17. Here's Melissa Jin, standout freshman who is a 4-year varsity player in high school. Budrice Rennie. Jackson again. Not a genuine approach. Quite frankly, just catches Point Park out of sorts. And another chance for the Tartans to set up set point in set number 2. Schlemmer runs into a block, and Budrice Rennie along with Kitchen combining together to force the 4-hit violation. Kitchen on the season, second on the team in blocks for the Pioneers with 39. McFarland, Tartans trying to set up set point. Respect. What a dig by Marshall. Respect rolls. Free ball for the Pioneers. And comes Respect again, but she misses. Set point for CMU. Trying to give the Pioneers a 7th consecutive loss. Last year, these two met up on Halloween. It was a straight set win for CMU. Looking to do that here in 25. Respect. Marshall. Oyola slaps it up. Chance for the Tartans. McFarland blocked. Point Park again stays alive. Clenching on to this second set. Tartans trying to wrap this one up. Go up 2-0 into the third. Schlemmer. Respect nudges it through. Schlemmer shoves. Kuntz, pin hit, and the set goes to CMU. 25-16, the Tartans wrap up set number 2 and are 1 set away from handing Point Park a 16th loss on the season. Stay with us to find out the result coming up next in the third set on the CMU Sports Network. 2 sets down and we go to the third. CMU takes set number 1, 25-17. Takes set number 2, 25-16. And now 1 set away from wrapping this one up and keeping Point Park out of the win column as the Pioneers, again, still searching for that first win in the month of October. Pioneers started the season slow, 0-5 before the first win. Then another 4-match losing streak ensued. Did pick up a small 2-match winning streak, though, towards the end of September, but since September 30th, it's been 6 straight losses for the Pioneers. However, despite the first 3 of those 6 losses being in straight sets, the last 3 have been a little bit more competitive. Lost in 5 to Salem and then have lost back-to-back home matches against Concord and Glenville State in 4 sets. Again, this match does not count against CMU's record either way. Will count for Point Park's record. The Tartans continuing to swing a very big hitting percentage. Hit 282 in that last set after 382 in the first set. Sarah Faith gets her first swing. And Faith getting a rousing reaction, her 7th kill of the year. Hitting minus 206, but a good sign for her on her first swing of the match. Jackson. Pioneers trying to avenge last year's loss to CMU. As Kuntz can't get it through. Pan and Woodard both with a rejection. The CMU team ranks 3rd in blocks in the UAA. Great serving team, great blocking team. As Jackson somehow extracts it. Jown drops it home. Jown has continued the strong year, top 5 in the UAA in kills this year with 276. Everyone is chasing Callie Wall of Case Western Reserve at 339. Jackson with an ace. Ace number 4 tonight for CMU. A total of 7 in the match. Early 3-1 lead, now 4-1 lead. Back-to-back for Jackson. Jackson with ace number 3 this evening. Not to mention 7 kills on a .467 hit percentage to boot. Kitchen. Just misses. Could not tether that back on the line and in play. A 5-1 start here in set number 3 for CMU. Jackson runs it into the net. Second service error this evening. Lee Marchand back at the line, has one of the 3 aces tonight for Point Park. Had a season high 4 of them in that first win of the year against Roberts Wesleyan. Jown could not keep her hands away, and Faith with a block. So Sarah Faith, the redshirt sophomore, with a kill and then a block as well. Awfully active for sitting for the first 2 sets. Pioneers trying to pull within 1. In jeopardy of being swept yet again. Service error by Arndt. If this does end in a sweep, it would be the 11th time this year that Point Park has lost in straight sets. Kuntz cranks, and it barely goes off of a Tartan. Couldn't quite see who that was off of because there was a lot of players in the vicinity. And Sarah Faith getting a warm welcome back to the bench. Local product out of Montour High School, not too far away here from downtown Pittsburgh. Kuntz. Jackson with a flamethrower. Give her 8 kills tonight. Between her and McFarland, both having been set to over 10 times and are hitting north of .460 each. just simply incredible. Again, if you're hitting around 200, you're doing something right. So if you're at 400, you're really doing something right. And Tumala has always been doing something right at the service line. Secures another ace. Tartans double up on Pioneers. These two teams just a couple miles away from one another. Depending on traffic and lights, you might get to Point Park in about 15 minutes from CMU. It's a happy accident helps out Point Park. Ladrice Rennie takes care of it after it just barely slips off of the Tartans. Kuntz back at the line. Can't get it over the net. Kuntz on her next ace will match her season total she had last year in her lone season playing in Alabama at Montevallo. Catherine Marshall back at the service line. Ladrice Rennie whacks it through. Marshall. Nope. Calera Irizarry, at least throwing up a wall, runs into tape either way. Pioneers can really chop down on this deficit here, down by 3, but again, this proverbial 3 to 5 point limbo that the Pioneers have lived in, just not helping them out. And again, back to now a 4-point lead. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Pioneers. Here's Gavros. Kitchen off a slide. Tucks it in play. Crafty. A good sign for Kitchen. Picking up another kill, although she is hitting in the negatives. Trending towards hitting in the negatives for a 3rd time in 5 matches, but after the stat update, she's back to an even 0. And now an ace. 4th tonight for Point Park. Oyola picks it up, her 2nd on the evening. Oyola last year with 27 aces at West Virginia Tech, and she gets another. Here come the Pioneers. All of a sudden, a 3-0 run, and Point Park on a 6-match losing streak could tie it up here in this 3rd set, down 2-0. Might have spoken too fast. 11-9. But this is by far the closest the Pioneers have kept it through the first 2 and some change sets. There's a team that last year went just 2-10 on the road, but that has definitely increased this year, 2-5 on the road, so next road win surpasses that total. Chin. And somehow it gets back over for Point Park. Oh, man. Want to talk about getting a friendly bounce. Point Park being best friends with that bounce there. Pioneers can tie it up again. It would be just the 2nd time Point Park has tied it in this match. But Jackson keeping her foot on the accelerator, making sure there is no chance of a comeback for the Pioneers. Jackson at the line. Faith, airmails. Mention about the Tartans, each of the last 3 years winning 20 or more games. You have to go back to 2021, the last time CMU was even close to a 500 record. Finished 14-14 that season. Woodard. Dumped over by Oyola. Catches everyone at the campfire. Loyola playing a marvelous match thus far. She has been really good at distributing as well. 30 or more assists 7 different times for the setter. Here's Marchand. Pan. Pioneers can creep closer. And they do. Kuntz again with a little drop shot. Just a very easy approach. Keep that channel with us. This one not over yet. CMU up 2-0, but Point Park fighting here in set number 3. Bashed home. Calero Irizarry ties things up at 13. And a timeout for CMU. Point Park with a chance to take its first lead after this timeout. Stick with us. See if that happens right here on the CMU Sports Network. Tied at 13, Point Park with a chance to take its first lead of the match. Down 2-0 in jeopardy of a 7th straight loss, but fighting tooth and nail here with CMU. Jown pushes it through. Kuntz, poked back over by Woodard. Using every centimeter to her 6'2" frame. And keeps CMU up just by a toe length. Sophie Pan. Pinballs around. Woodard. 2-point lead for CMU. Mentioned how Woodard has been set to just 13 times the last 2 matches. You go back 3 matches ago, and she had 21 total attacks. Getting back involved, though, tonight. Kuntz with a little roll shot. It's about the 3rd time in this set alone that Kuntz has just gently dropped it in. And CMU leaving that space for her to exploit. Here's Riesbeck. Also somewhat of a local product out of Washington, Pennsylvania. About 40 minutes south of here. Sticks an ace. The transfer from Wheeling has found a new home here at Point Park. Just 2 matches removed from a season-high 5 aces against Concord. Jown with another punishing swing. CMU stays ahead just barely. First set, 25-17 in favor of CMU. Second set, 25-16. Now 16-15 in this back-and-forth 3rd set. Tumala misses. And the Pioneers again with the door open to take a lead. Door might be open, but now it's a matter of the Pioneers actually walking in and finding themselves back in this match. Schlemmer. Point Park arguing it wasn't touched. Play on by Dries Rennie. Schlemmer with a scorcher. CMU stays ahead by 1, but Point Park quickly goes to the challenge card. So it looks like the Pioneers are challenging if it was a tip up front. Really the question is, because based on Patricia Calero Irizarry's reaction up front, she thought that the initial swing by CMU was not hit by anyone by Point Park and just hit the net instead, which would have ultimately been a 4-hit violation. But it is curious to see after another play ensued and the point came to an end, if the challenge is applicable going further back. Give a shout out to our officiating crew here today. R1, Joseph Hardiman. R2, Michael Bruno. And our line judges, Kyle Tanzos and Joseph Wojciechowski. Certainly not an open and closed case. Lengthier review than normal, but certainly a great opportunity for both of these teams to reset, especially for CMU, who is in quite the battle here in set number 3. And this Pioneers team just a few years removed from elevating from NAIA to NCAA Division II. And it looks like a ruling could be coming here momentarily. Again, the officials down on the floor have access to other camera angles inside of the gymnasium. Speaking of the gymnasium, year number 2 of the Highmark Center. Beautiful facility. We here at the CMU Sports Network, very lucky to be in this building. Well, call is upheld and the point stays with CMU. So a lost challenge for Point Park, now with just 2 challenges for the match. Tartan's trying to finish this one off. Point Park has certainly thrown a wrench into that. Tartans at times throughout this match have led by as many as 8-9 points. But it has been truly nip and tuck in set number 3. Here's Jown, conference leader in aces. Calero Irizarry. Schlemmer smacks. Joust. Dumped over by Oyola, and again, catches CMU sleeping. Third chance in this third set the Pioneers have at taking a lead. Will third time be the charm? Here's Montgomery. One of the top servers on the team. Herkenrother pinballs around. Coots somehow cleans it up. Schlemmer tools a block. CMU stays ahead. Schlemmer with kill number 5 tonight, hitting 105 as she has been set to a team high 19 times. Here's Gavros, already with 1 ace tonight. Budreese Rennie. In comes Jackson. Finds a soft spot. Give her 10 kills tonight. Third straight match and 13th overall with 10 or more kills. And a timeout for Point Park as the end is nearing potentially for the Pioneers. Down by 2 and down 2 sets to none. Check out the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel and Suites Pittsburgh downtown for your next conference or hotel stay in Pittsburgh. The DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel and Suites Pittsburgh downtown is a proud corporate partner of Carnegie Mellon Athletics. Carnegie Mellon Athletics Department would also like to thank Moe's Southwest Grill for being a proud corporate partner. Make sure you visit one of Moe's 7 Pittsburgh locations to pick up a burrito from the official provider of Carnegie Mellon Athletics. Pizza Parma is also the official pizza provider of Carnegie Mellon Athletics and is a favorite for the Tartans, using only quality Italian cheeses, locally grown vegetables, and fresh meats with no preservatives. Pizza Parma is made to order fresh just for you. Visit their Shadyside location or order online to enjoy a Pittsburgh original. Hannah Knoll, Jared Barton, Jack Ridenauer all here with you this Tuesday evening in late October. Hard to believe that we're getting out of fall season and soon into the winter time. But neither one of these teams thinking about that. Still with plenty of volleyball to be played. Kitchen windmills it through and it works. Once again, the Pioneers lurking in the background. Sarah Faith checks in, who's given some good minutes here in this third set off the bench. Here's Oyola. She's been a catalyst from the service line tonight. Schlemmer. Poked over by Pan. And Sophie Pan keeping that arm's length separation alive. Dealt with some injuries throughout her career, did Pan, in high school, especially with sprained ankles, broken finger. Had a strong start to her freshman season, cooled down some, but has come back to life in the last few weeks. Budrice Rennie whips it through, and to no avail. CMU closing in on wrapping this one up. Point Park, once again, feeling the pressure, in jeopardy of a 7th consecutive loss. Faith squeezes it through. Faith came into tonight with just 6 kills and hitting a -206. But she has quickly inserted her name into the stat sheet. Couple kills along with a block. Pan pulverizes another swing. 3 points away are the Tartans from taking this one. Jackson at the line, who has put in some really good serves tonight. Tied for a match high in aces with Oyola over on Point Park side with 3. Give her a match high of 4. Jackson with a chance to set up match point, but not before a Point Park timeout. We'll do the same. Stay with us, 23-19, as CMU inching closer to the finish line on the CMU Sports Network. 23-19. For you movie junkies out there, the Monsters, Inc. reference with 23-19. If you don't get it, watch Monsters, Inc. Jack Ridenauer here with you. CMU trying to set up match point. And it does. CMU trying to put a bow on this one. Point Park staring in the face of a 16th loss this year. Faith. Kitchen. Jackson. Pioneers trying to stay alive. Gavro somehow keeps it alive. Kuntz. Down. Ball game. CMU wraps it up in straight sets. 25-17, 25-16, and 25-19. Point Park now 3-16 overall and suffers a 7th straight loss. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight on the CMU Sports Network. For Hannah Knoll, Jared Barton, this is Jack Ridenauer signing off, never saying goodbye, just a see you later.